we've in the office been talking about the incredible situation that we're experiencing right now in the greater Atlanta metro market with the inventory being as low as it is, and we're starting to get numbers back that are substantiating what we've known for the last month or two. Both the Atlanta Business Chronicle and the Georgia Association of Realtors has come out with numbers, and one stat in particular I think is really eye-opening. Georgia Association of Realtors came out with the numbers for May, and it says new listings decreased 20.5% to 16,106 year to date. So from last year to this year, it's been a decrease of 20%. By the way, my name's Casey Sears. I'm here with Joe Eman and Karl Phillips, and we're going to be talking about the inventory being substantially lower. Joe, what are your thoughts about the inventory being as low as it is right now?
Yeah, a couple things that I've really noticed, and I love this time of year because we're pretty much at the midpoint of our year this year. And so what I started doing is I looked back at a rolling 6-month average for the last 3 years. And something I found very fascinating is that the actual volume of closed sales for the last rolling 6 months is actually higher than it had been for the same rolling 6 months period for the last 2 years. Prices obviously going up because of the lack of inventory. And the number of closed sales actually were only down a little bit under 3% for the same rolling 6 months period when you look at literally January through June right now, and June numbers hadn't even come out yet.
So what do you think that means?
I really feel that what I'm starting to see, there is more inventory coming on the market. I do think that that's caused, obviously, the prices to continue to go up like they have. But our market could absorb, I mean, we talked about this last time, our market could absorb even 30% more inventory than this currently is, and it probably would not have a negative effect on pricing.
Karl?
I think the key for everybody to remember during this phase is we had almost 2.5 months of a massive dip in sales that would normally coincide with our busiest time of the year. So we're starting to see this last week and the next 2 weeks are going to be the busiest times in Atlanta real estate history. There are going to be more contracts that go into place, more homes go off the market in the next 2 to 3 weeks than we've had ever in this period of time. I have a lot of clients that are hesitant to list their home because they can't find a home on the market. So it's really creating some great opportunities for people if you have ability to purchase in cash, ability to list your home without having to buy. So there are distinct opportunities. But I think the key that really everybody needs to remember in a time like this where we do have limited inventory, prices going up, is you have to be 100% prepared to purchase. You have to have all your ducks in a row. You have to have everything prepped and ready to make that move when the house of your dream comes on the market.
Because it's the negotiations on this, it's more competitive than ever between the buyers.
Yeah, I just had one in Marietta at $300,000 that had 17 offers on it the first day it hit the market.
Wow.
And in order to get that, my client was able to get the house because they were prepared, ready, and able to go, and we didn't ask for a lot of things on the contract. It's the house of their dreams, and unfortunately 16 other people are out there still looking and can't find what they want because it's just not on the market.
Those are stories that I'm hearing from agents, and it's becoming more common that a listing will go live, and then over the course of the first weekend, now pricing is still very important, but if it's priced correctly, maybe even a little bit lower than what the market would bear on it, you're going to have 16 to 20 showings on a property potentially, which is going to lead to a multiple offer situation. The buyers are going to be competing against each other to submit the highest offer so they can win the house that they want to buy. So it's absolutely a phenomenal time to be in the seller's position right now. We've kind of been in a seller's marketplace for the last, I would say, 7-8 years for sure. what kind of advice would you give for buyers that are out there?
What I'm seeing right now is, I think Karl made a great point, is you've got to be prepared, and I think it's important for us agents to help set reasonable expectations of what's going on there. And I think that's the reason why Karl's client actually ended up getting that house. I'm finding, I was just asking, was that house in really, really good condition?
It was really, it was, to your point, it was in an excellent area, excellent condition. It was a ranch, four-sided brick ranch, which is the unicorn of all unicorns.
Right.
But it was in perfect condition. It wasn't that mid-tier thing, because I'm finding people either want something that's a complete project or perfect.
Right.
That in-between house where some people have done some things is sitting on the market endlessly because people don't want to pay for the little bit of upgrades that were done when they have to do more work.
And I was seeing that and I was almost surprised initially, but it makes sense exactly with what Karl just said. That mid-tier buyers now are willing to wait because if they don't see the value in either it's being done, the things have already been done and fixed up, or they don't want to move into a neighborhood that may be priced because sellers are overpricing their properties, knowing then they're going to have to come in and still spend money above that. I'm saying condition is driving that.
My advice that I would give to buyers right now is with as you guys know, interest rates. I mean, we have loan professionals that work in the office with us that keep us appraised of where interest rates are located at, and we're seeing with somebody that's got stellar credit, stellar debt to income ratio between 2.5 to 2.8% interest rates, which is through the floor when it comes to interest rates. But even if you're not, the best of the best and a regular, kind of person out there, you're still getting between a 3.5 to a 4% interest rate, which is still incredible. And I think that the interest rate market's depressed. I don't think it's going to stay that low. And on top of it, with the scarcity of real estate right now, we're going to continue to see the values of the property continue to rise for the pretty foreseeable future. I mean, which maybe go out a year or two. So for buyers out there, I would definitely recommend that they go ahead and pull the trigger. I know that it's a seller's marketplace, but if they don't hop on the ride right now, it's just going to become more expensive for them down the road.
I agree.
My advice, I'm going to target more towards the sellers out there because I've had this conversation a lot over the last 2 weeks.
Sure.
Don't do upgrades, repairs, fixes to the property.
Absolutely.
You're so much better off to get the home on the market and get it sold, because the painting, unless you're going to dramatically change the home, painting a room, painting a bathroom, fixing a couple areas of the home, you're just not going to get that money back. There's no increase in price that's going to happen. There's such a demand, such a shortage that your home as is going to garner the same amount of money if you wait 2 or 3 weeks doing repairs. And with school hopefully starting in August, you have about a 2 to 3 week window to get your home on the market and get it under contract to catch this supercharged market we're in before people go back to school.
Yeah, to go back to the beginning, you said the next 2 weeks are going to be probably the strongest 2 real estate weeks of the season. So right now, if you're thinking about it, it's time to really move and get the show on the road. But I think that pretty much covers the topic. Again, thank you, Joe Eman and Karl Phillips, for joining me today, and we will see you in the next episode.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.